Morning, everyone. This is Koogler, Terry Koogler, coming at you from Koogler Landscaping. A little talk and review about my Ariens 32-inch two-stage snow thrower with snow season quickly approaching here in a couple months. Usually in Ohio, December is when it starts. We can get a few earlier snows in October or November, but they usually don't amount to much. But I've been in the business 41 years. Did snow for about 30 of them years, bowed out of it about 10 years ago. Just kind of lack of snow and how hard it is to try to do something with it because of the inconsistent snows and getting up at all kinds of hours and constantly being on call. So just decided to get out of it because the last few years that I worked, there was like 1 year I didn't even go out at all, and another year I think it snowed one time so just very inconsistent. I think if you're going to do commercial lots, and I did all residential, where the threat of snow or ice or some small amount they want it done is probably the best way to go. So just wanted to share a few words of my experiences. So anyhow, started with a little single stage Toro. I think it was a good unit. It went probably good, optimum 2, 3, 4 inches, dry. If it was very wet, I'm sure things have improved over the last 30, 40 years. I haven't used one in over 30 years. But just found when you get into the 4, 5, 6 inches or wet, slushy snow, it tend to struggle. And I think it was like 21, 24 inches wide. Then I went to the Ariens dual stage, had a 36, but I found the 36 with the impellers and belts, you're just feeding in more snow than it can really handle unless they put bigger belts or impellers and things up. But with the Ariens, the product at the time, they didn't do that. So I just thought it burned up the belts easier. And so I gravitated back to this 32-inch model, which I've been very happy with. It currently has the Briggs & Stratton motor. They used to have the Tecumseh Snow Kings, which I never had a problem with, and the Briggs & Stratton's been a good unit as well. It's 342 cc. I think that's a 1650. I don't know if that's the torque rating. Kind of see back there, but it's got heated grips, which are very nice, electric start. All the controls seem to work and well laid out, so been pretty happy with the unit. Yeah, I haven't used it much since I'm no longer in the snow business, but I do use it on my personal driveway when the snow warrants it, which is, again, maybe 2 or 3 snowfalls a year where I have enough to break it out. But love the dual stage. I think it's good for around optimum, probably. You'll do 2 or 3 inches really easy, and 6 inches pretty easy, and then I'd say as you get up to about a foot of snow, then depending on the condition, it would maybe start to struggle. That's where I might look into, if you're in them conditions all the time, foot, foot and a half, 2 feet of snow, I would certainly look more to snow plowing than a snow thrower. But here in Ohio and being so low and just doing people's driveways, I can get a driveway done in generally 20 minutes to 45 minutes. So about 10 or 12 swipes up and down the driveway and I'm done with it. So it'll throw snow up to 50 feet. Again, it's always variable how deep the snow is, how wet or dry or cold the snow is. So optimum conditions, it throws 50 feet. Very slushy, it may be down to 12 to 15 feet. In them conditions, I spray in Rain X or WD-40, the chute and the thing. That's a little tip for you there. So I spray the impeller so the snow and ice doesn't stick, and I spray the chute tube, and inside it is where I'm talking about. It doesn't matter on the outside, but inside there and down the chute there, I spray that every unit. So I also put a few ice screws in here in the tire, just or you can use sheet metal screws. These happen to be, I believe, ice screws that I use, and it gives it a little additional traction if you're dealing with ice. So them are a couple little tips for you there. So maybe a few ice screws. I just put them here. You can see a little better the lighting. Just every other lug, I put a couple on the outside, give a little, and them have been in there for 10 years. So they last quite a long time, and no, they don't puncture the tire. You know, kind of look at it and eyeball it. You don't want some. Obviously, if they're an inch long, they very well may puncture it. So this unit also comes with a little brush and a little shovel for clearing stuff. And you always want to turn the unit off and be safe. Don't stick your hand and things down in there while it's working or on, because it may end up hurting you, so that wouldn't be good. So always turn the unit off when you're, if you have something blocked or you sucked up a newspaper, which I've done. So anything like that, always make sure the unit's off when you're using the shovel or brush to get up in there or down the chute. So yeah, I've been very happy with it, and I think a 32 inch is a good size to go there. I don't know everybody's different snow throwers and the way they're set up, but in the Ariens market, I just find they use the same belts on the little larger unit. Back in the day, they had the 36 and 32. I bought the 36 thinking it'd be much more efficient and, you know, bigger swath, but it just tend to overfeed the belt and the impeller. And if they, like I said, if they would correct that and put bigger belts on them and up the size of everything else, because you're shooting, you know, feeding in 6 more inches of, or 4 more inches of snow, then which doesn't sound like a lot, but the snow is very heavy, especially if it's wet. So it may be several hundred pounds more worth of throwing, so it does make a difference. Overall, I think I would like to see them put a little bit bigger belts on the unit anyhow. I don't have it open to show you, but they tend to run a little, I think, somewhat undersized belts. I replace them on a heavy year where I'm out a dozen, 2 dozen times, and I'm doing 15, 20 driveways an event. I'll probably replace them once or twice. And of course, if you get a newspaper or something, branch stuck up in there, that may potentially burn them up even quicker if you're hitting a lot of obstacles. So this came with a little, on the side there, them holes, drift cutters. Although here in Ohio, where I live, we rarely, it's been since the 70s, it's now 2022, since I've seen drifts of, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 feet deep. So back in the, they call it the blizzard, I think of 76 or something, 77, 76. But We generally, average snowfall around here is probably 3 to 6 inches deep and things like that. So, and then like I said, I just use this on the residentials, and have stayed away from the plowing and stuff. The problem I find with, a lot of people get the mentality, I'm going to get a plow and I'm going to go out and do that. It's really quick and easy, and it is. But the problem I found and see with even in the spring, my current customers that use have other people do their driveways now, is that you hit a sprinkler head along the driveway, or tear up the turf, or you plowed snow up into their landscape and damaged bushes. And some of them have little concrete edges along the driveway that stick up 3 to 6 inches, and you've chipped that with your plow, because it's very difficult to see these things when you're tired and it's night and you have 6 inches of snow. So I just find you do a lot of damage on properties like that, residential. So in the spring, you're spending at least a couple hours coming back to 25% of your customers, repairing these type of things. So it eats into your time, and which is profit. So that's why even back 10, 20, 30 years for so long, I just used the snow throwers. I can't remember a time I've damaged anything. So yes, you're making just a little bit less, but you're also, once again, spending less. And it just depends how big, where your priorities and what you want to do. So I think plows are optimum for big snows, like a foot of snow, where this would struggle more. And certainly in parking lots, the plow's the way to go. But for residential units, I think the snow thrower is still a good way to go. For them various reasons that I just discussed. So, like I said, over the 30-some years that I did do the snow, I've never had to go back and repair turf or pay for damages of concrete or a sprinkler head or whatever. So, anyhow, it's just a thing of what you want to do and things to be aware of when you're in the business and using the different products. Everything has an application. For me, I'm solo. I was just doing residential 15, 20 to maybe most 25 driveways in a snow event. And then also I briefly mentioned, getting back, a little business tip or thought. Be able to get back to your customers. Sometimes you're pushing, big guys, I don't know what they, 100 or in the hundreds of driveways an event, and like they're out for 24 hours, and before you can even get to the ones, because you're working 24 hours, you've got the snow's starting to melt, or conditions have changed, or you may have a real big event or a long duration event, and then you've got because you can't get back to them quick enough, you kind of lose money or have to, because it's already either melted, or you have extra snow because it took you so long to get to them. Now you're plowing or shoveling twice the snow. So, and of course, then you get customers that complain, and and you have to deal with that. So I just find it's better if you pick up enough you can get done in 8, 10, 12 hours, and then you can, keep up with everything better. And the customers are also happier as well. So just a little food for thought. If you have any comments or thoughts, feel free to leave me some, and I'll get back to them. And appreciate you watching, and just a little snow thrower talk. It's a little early, but it's hard to believe another season's upon us. In about 2 or 3 months here in Ohio, the season will begin. So just pulled out the snow thrower to have a little talk about it. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.